What if I told you that one of the most famous paintings in the world is missing something we all have? The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows. But why? Was it a mistake by Leonardo da Vinci? Or did her eyebrows simply vanish over time? Today, we're going to uncover the real reason behind this centuries-old mystery. When people visit the Louvre in Paris, they stand mesmerized before the Mona Lisa. Her mysterious smile, the eyes that seem to follow you, the calm, almost supernatural expression. But few notice one strange detail. She has no eyebrows, no eyelashes, just a smooth, perfect forehead. It seems odd for such a realistic painting by one of history's greatest geniuses. Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa in the early 1500s, probably between 1503 and 1506. The portrait shows Lisa Gherardini, the wife of a Florentine merchant. Leonardo was obsessed with detail, with light, shadow, anatomy, and the subtleties of human expression. He studied the muscles of the face and how skin moves when people smile. It's hard to imagine that he simply forgot to paint her eyebrows. What's even more interesting is that people in Leonardo's time actually described her with eyebrows. Giorgio Vasari, an artist and writer who knew Leonardo's work well, wrote about the Mona Lisa around 1550. He praised how naturally the eyebrows were painted, saying each hair seemed to grow from the skin. That means that when the painting was new, eyebrows were clearly visible. So what happened to them? Over the centuries, the Mona Lisa went through many transformations. Leonardo painted it using an incredibly delicate technique called sfumato, a soft blending of tones that creates a smoky transition between light and shadow. It gave his portraits lifelike depth and texture, but it also made the thinnest details, like eyebrow hairs, extremely fragile. As time passed, layers of varnish that were meant to protect the painting darkened and turned yellow. To restore the image, different generations of restorers tried to clean it. But in earlier centuries, restoration methods were not exactly gentle. They used strong solvents, wet cloths, even scraping tools to remove grime and varnish. During one of these cleanings, it's believed that the delicate strokes forming the eyebrows and eyelashes were completely wiped away. But this isn't just a guess. There's scientific proof. In 2007, French engineer Pascal Cotte made one of the most astonishing discoveries about the Mona Lisa. He used an ultra-high resolution camera, 240 megapixels, along with infrared and ultraviolet light to scan the painting. Underneath the surface layers, he found something incredible. A faint trace of a single eyebrow hair above Mona Lisa's left eye. One single hair barely visible to the human eye, but enough to prove that Leonardo did paint eyebrows originally. According to Cotte, centuries of cleanings and restorations gradually erased them. His scans also revealed that Leonardo made small changes over time, adjusting the shape of the face, the position of the hands, and even the curve of the smile. It's as if Leonardo kept experimenting, never quite finishing the portrait. But there's another theory, one that has nothing to do with restoration. In early 16th century Italy, fashion and beauty standards were very different. A high, smooth forehead was considered a sign of elegance and nobility. To achieve that look, women often plucked or even shaved off their eyebrows and part of their hairline. So it's possible that Lisa Gherardini actually had extremely thin, faint eyebrows, and Leonardo painted her that way, following the style of the time. If that's true, the mystery might not be a mystery at all, just a reflection of Renaissance beauty ideals. Still, the lack of eyebrows gives the Mona Lisa an almost supernatural calm. Without those lines framing her eyes, her gaze becomes softer, more ambiguous, and maybe that's part of why the painting feels so hypnotic. A single missing feature changed the emotional power of the portrait, but the eyebrow mystery goes beyond appearance. It raises deep questions about how we care for art. Each layer of paint on a masterpiece is fragile, and every cleaning, every restoration, risks erasing something forever. The Mona Lisa's missing eyebrows became a symbol in debates among conservators. Should we try to restore art to its original state, or preserve it exactly as time has left it? Pascal Cotte's findings sparked arguments among experts. Some say the single hair he found is definitive proof. Others think it might just be a crack or an illusion in the paint. Either way, this investigation pushed art science forward. Thanks to the Mona Lisa, we developed better, safer imaging technologies to study paintings without touching them. And of course, the mystery itself only made her more famous. People love to imagine that Leonardo intentionally left her without eyebrows to make her more mysterious. It's part of the myth, the idea that even the most perfect artwork hides imperfections. Here are a couple of curiosities you might not know. First, that single faint hair found by Kat became world famous. It's often called the most studied eyebrow in history. And second, many of Leonardo's other portraits of women, like Lady with an Ermine, also show barely visible eyebrows. Maybe it wasn't just fashion. Maybe Leonardo himself preferred that ethereal, nearly hairless style. And here's another fun fact. In 1919, the artist Marcel Duchamp drew a mustache and goatee on a reproduction of the Mona Lisa, entitled it LHOOQ. It was a cheeky way to mock how seriously we take art and to remind everyone that even icons can be laughed at. Today, the Mona Lisa's lack of eyebrows is part of her identity. It's one of the many details that make her endlessly fascinating. She has survived wars, theft, vandalism, and centuries of time, and still, she looks at us with that same knowing smile. In the end, the mystery isn't really about eyebrows. It's about how art changes, not just through the hands of artists, but through time itself. The Mona Lisa probably once had eyebrows, but they disappeared, slowly, layer by layer, as generations of caretakers tried to preserve her. And maybe that's what makes her so powerful. She's not just a painting. She's a living piece of history, shaped by 500 years of human touch. The missing eyebrows remind us that nothing, not even a masterpiece, is untouched by time. What we see today is a conversation between Leonardo da Vinci, the centuries that followed, and us, the viewers. So next time you look at that mysterious smile, remember, the Mona Lisa isn't incomplete. She's evolving, and that, perhaps, is her greatest secret. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more strange and fascinating moments from history. And tell me in the comments what everyday mystery should we explore next.